I just want to say life is full of surprises. I met Jack on the internet. That was a surprise. But I lived in St. Louis, and he lived here in Maryland. And the minute I heard his voice the first time he called me, I knew he was my soulmate. I knew he was the one. Don't ask me how I knew, I just did. He didn't know that. Anyway, that was February of 2000. And in October of 2000, I found myself climbing up into the moving truck, and Jack was at the helm, and he moved me just to Maryland. Then we were happy and healthy. We had the time of our lives. It was a wonderful time for us. And on Christmas Day of 2000, he asked me to marry him, and that was one of the happiest days of my life. So we decided to have our wedding on March 28th. I mean, it's 3 months away, plenty of time to plan a wedding, you know. I started looking for places. The only place that was left was a castle, which I was really excited about. And so we decided to have a Renaissance style wedding. And we had my daughter and another family member help me with the things. I designed everything and got all the fabulous clothes and the decorations, everything down to the handmade invitations done. We were ready to go. And then on March 24th, we were supposed to be married on the 28th, and on the 24th of March, sorry, my mouth was dry. On the 24th of March, Jack woke me up that morning and said, I need you to take me to the hospital. I'm bleeding from my rectum. And the thought went through my head, I've never heard of anybody bleeding from their rectum. This must be some kind of trick to get out of the wedding. I don't know. He wasn't bleeding. He was gushing. So I was running around trying to find something to, keep it from getting all over him and the car and everywhere else. And I thought, duh, my feminine napkins. So I yelled, always with wings. And he said, I'm not wearing the wings. Oh my God. So I cut the wings off. And off we went to the hospital. So we were in the emergency room, I don't know, for a long time, hours. And during that time, he was losing more and more blood. They finally got him in a room. I stepped out so the nurses could, get him settled in. And then I heard this voice. I heard, help me, somebody help me. And I thought, that's coming from his room. And I ran in there, and the nurses were nowhere to be found, but they had sat him on the toilet by himself. After losing, he was pale, white as a sheet. I said, I'm here. But he wasn't. He was gone. His eyes were fixed. He was gone. I started screaming, somebody help me, pushing the nurse's button frantically. They come running in, they picked him up and set him in a chair. And I was standing behind the chair, and this is where it gets really weird, because everything started happening like really fast and really slow at the same time. And so I'm standing there watching him, and they're saying, Mr. George, wake up, Mr. George, and he's not responding. And then they're doing something else, and all these things, and I'm watching, I'm thinking, I can't believe this is happening. And then I hear him say, there's no pulse, there's no blood pressure. And I thought, oh my God, that means he's gone. And I just stood there and watched him, and then I saw that, I thought, this can't be happening, this isn't real. And so I saw the nurse pick up the phone, and she said, Code Blue, room 128. That's the way it looked to me. I knew that they were coming with the paddles and that they were going to revive him, and that he really was gone. And I freaked out, and I just said, don't you leave me. And he goes, I'm not going anywhere. I thought, I let out all the air that I'd been holding in for the last however long, and breathe, and I thought, oh my God, he's alive. But he was dead. Well, they moved him to an ICU unit, intensive care, and he had lost so much blood they had to hook him up to give him a transfusion. And they had all these machines hooked to him, and he calls me over and says, I want you to call our pastor and tell him to come up here and marry us. I freaked. I thought, he knows he's going to die again. Oh my God. But I did what he asked, and with him hooked to all of those machines, the nurses were standing in the hall, crying their eyes out. my daughter and his daughter were in the room, and we were married in the hospital. But the best surprise of all is that he didn't die, and in fact, we celebrate our 13th wedding anniversary next month.